right, ladies and gentlemen, another exciting day in Uganda basketball history. I'm here with one of the basketball greats. Of course, it's Around the Game Sports podcast, and it's episode 6. And today in the studio, I'm here with Henrison Mbaziira. Is that correct?
Yes.
Henrison, you're very, very welcome. Please say something to the viewers.
Um, uh, very good afternoon. I hope it's a good afternoon. A very good afternoon to everyone that is watching out there. My name is Henrison Mbaziira, former player of Falcons basketball club, and I'm here to do a simple talk about the game with Vinnie, a former teammate of mine,
Yeah.
and also a very, very inspirational guy via media.
All right, Henry. It's very, very good to have you in the studio tonight. I mean, I have looked for you, and finally, I've got you.
Yeah.
I just want you to tell the viewers outside there how you fell in love with the game of basketball. First of all, I want to ask, who is Henrison Mbaziira?
Well, just to say, Henrison is just Henrison the way you see me. There's nothing different. Henrison is who you see. Most people know me for my off-court kind of business where I do other things because I'm an entrepreneur as well. But most people also know me as Henrison as a coach. My parents know me as their son, of course. Then my family knows me as Henrison, their brother or something like that. But for those that know me mostly, they know me for basketball. That's on court.
Yeah.
And then most parents know me as Henrison, the coach at HBA, because I run a basketball program. It's an academy based in Bukoto, Kabila Country Club. So that's where most people actually get to know me from.
So it's okay for me to call you Mr. HBA?
Yes, that's absolutely okay.
I can see you're smartly dressed in the HBA.
Yes, always. I have to represent our brand wherever I go.
Okay, let's get quick into it. How did you fall in love with the game of basketball?
Well, my journey is a bit long, but not very complicated. I used to be a soccer player way back in primary. Actually, I have to say, my entire primary I never touched a basketball. So it was.
You used to be a soccer player?
Yeah, I used to be a very good midfielder because I used to play 6 and 8. But when I went to Chitovu, that's Shark, Central News, Chitovu in Masaka.
Yeah.
They had a lot of sports. They had football, they had rugby, they had hockey, they had volleyball. So there were a lot of sports. So me coming from, actually I'm coming from Michiana. So me coming from Michiana to join a school like Shark, being on a school team was actually very complicated, especially for football. We had 7 pitches. Those are 7 different classes, 6 classes with one main pitch, which we used to call Old Trafford. So just getting on a school team was really very hard.
Okay, the soccer school team?
Yes. And also being on a class team also was very complicated because we used to have kids from Edgar's, Frontline Academy. Now for us, we had never seen what academy basketball was. So they were playing very organized
soccer,
yeah. So I tried out as many times to be on the team. Every time you put on a bench. So I was like, there's no room for me to break through here. So I had to look for an option, another sport to play. You understand? So I went around. I played volleyball. I played hockey. I played rugby as well. I played handball. But then it was different when it came to basketball.
Yeah.
So how I started loving the sport and falling in love with the sport is basically to do with how many achievements I got in a short period of time. So from when I step on a court, Sprite comes to the school.
Yeah.
The likes of Norman Blake, Stephen Omonde, those stars that used to move with Sprite.
They came to Chitovu?
Yes, they came to Chitovu with a big truck, with music.
Yeah.
And dancers, musicians, because I remember that time which musician came. I remember they came with those of Sarah, they came with the Late Mose Radio,
yeah,
they came
the
with
Good Life.
Yeah, the Good Life crew,
yeah.
Then they came with Master Parrot and those kind of things. So when they came, it was so entertaining that the entire school was at the basketball court. They put the music on the sideline. They're giving us free sodas, free t-shirts. So the excitement was too much, and it had never happened.
That's
in football.
Cool. Yeah.
So I was like, wow, this sport actually has life. The music, the way they were dressing, the way they conducted themselves, even the Blicks, the way they played. They are dunking the ball, doing funny things on us. Actually, I remember Blake called me out of the audience. He gave me a ball. So he jumped over me and dunked. So that was very interesting. He told me to hold the ball just for entertainment.
Yeah.
I held the ball in my head. I don't have pictures of that, but it was so catchy. Everyone was like, "You're the one they dunked on. You're the one they jumped on." So it felt so different.
Yeah.
So from that time, I started achieving slowly. I was called to play Sprite under 16. There was that tour that was being done.
Yeah.
Then they used to invite us at sharing those days. That's why they used to do camps for Sprite.
Yeah.
So from Masaka, from Masaka, I came to Kampala back when I knew how to play basketball, because from the day Sprite came to Chitovu, that's when I started picking interest. I go for training. They're doing too much running, but I'm like, I have to learn basketball.
Yeah.
So the coach liked me for one reason. It's not a very good record, because there was a Form 2 called Oscar. Oscar was a kid that grew up in Kampala. He used to do a lot of tricks and won basketball. So when I went to court on a Saturday, Oscar was playing, having fun. He was even in sandals. So I came to pick a ball from Oscar.
Yeah.
Oscar did a lot of dirty to me, like dancing around me, throwing the ball, then I turned
Embarrassed you.
around. So me, I didn't understand what he was doing, and people were laughing. So me, I got pissed and I punched him. When I punched him, the coach was on the side watching. So when I punched him, he
Yeah.
fell down. He got up, of course, in that mix of wanting to fight, guys held us. So the coach called me with Oscar. He told Oscar, "You're an older player. Why would you fight with a kid?"
Yeah.
So Oscar was like, "This kid, I didn't do anything." What, that kind of moment.
Yeah.
So the coach told me, "Oscar is actually that pompous kind of guy.
Mm.
I want you to be coming for training, because whenever you're on court, I'll be forcing you to guard him. Not in a bad way, not fighting, but make sure you come for training, because I can see you have that anger.
Mm.
You don't want to lose. You don't want to be challenged.
Yeah.
So you come to the team. I'll train you basketball." So when I went, I started training with the team. By that time, preparations were usually for qualifiers, nationals, and nationals. Definitely, that was like for term one, then like towards the end of term one.
Yeah.
Towards the end of term
That is
one,
still senior one.
Yes. So I was lucky. I trained with the team for qualifiers. I went and I was on the bench for the qualifiers, but some players weren't allowed by their parents to go for nationals. They're like, I don't want my son to go that far without me, without the family, things like that. So yeah, I was on the bench always. That's Form 1. That's term 1. I was on the bench, but wanting to play so much. I didn't know what to do so much, but I wanted so much to play, and the coach could see that in me. It's like, I like the anger in you.
Yeah.
You want to play, but definitely you're going to play someday. Just watch, learn the rules, learn how the game is played.
Yeah.
Then you're going to play basketball. So I was waiting for that moment for me to step on the court and play. So I remember, I don't remember the name of a person that didn't go that year for nationals, and I was put on the list.
Yeah.
It was actually a late call that I had to call home to buy me shoes, send me money upkeep. They told me I'm going for nationals. So we had to stay actually in school for 2 weeks
Yeah.
before nationals. Before the nationals, that's after the qualifiers.
Mm.
So when I stayed in the camp, we're just staying in the dormitory, like in the entire school, only basketball guys, because we're going for what? Nationals. So we stayed, we trained intensively, we ran hills, we did a lot of drills. They could divide us according to our positions. But by that time, I was like a long guy. So they
Yeah.
told me your position is going to be center. In fact, my entire high school, I played center position. I'm telling you, I
Yeah.
played only center.
Yeah.
My job was chase down blocks,
Picking
dunking the ball,
rebounds.
picking the rebounds. And me, I knew one concept. Pick the rebound, look for the guard, give him the ball, take the middle lane.
Yeah.
That's my basketball.
Yeah. Those are the basics of number
Exactly.
5.
So, actually, when I stepped on court for the first time, I did better than the guy that was playing that position, because I remember that time it was Walube something, Newton something. He was from SMAC and they had joined, and he was in Form 3.
Yeah.
And I was in Form 1. So when I stepped on, I was so focused on my role. I knew rebounds, get the ball, give it now. Walube, every time he picks the ball, he wants to dodge some people.
Yeah, yeah.
He wants to dance around with the ball. But me, when I pick a rebound, one concept, go back up. That's how I used to play my center. So the coach actually saw more talent in me than Walube.
Yeah, more potential. Huh?
Exactly. So that's how I earned my minutes, and everything was learned in the game all the time.
Yeah.
So every time I score a basket or pick a rebound, they applaud me. I come out and the guy is telling me, what you're doing is what you should do. keep doing that.
Yeah.
And when I started dunking the ball, that was Form 1, by the way.
You're dunking in senior one.
Yes. I was so
How
athletic.
high were the hoops?
Standard rims,
Standard.
by the way, because I started dunking the ball when I was 14 years. Yeah. I could run into that rim. What I remember, I broke because you see nowadays the rims are full board, but those days we used to have plywoods put together. So I broke 2 rims.
In senior one?
Yes. So, because I remember the first game was a friendly against Masaka Secondary. First quarter, I get a fast break. Of course, I picked the rebound, gave the ball to Oscar. Oscar throws the ball.
Yeah.
I went to dunk the ball. Now, when I put the ball in, I hanged on the rim. So I came down with the ball. Now, that made me a celeb in school.
Your friend was at school?
Yes. Everyone was talking about the boy that broke the rim. Whenever I went to the DH, everyone is like,
that's the guy.
That's the guy, he dunked the ball. And the game actually stopped in the first quarter.
Did I repair the board? So that was it?
That was it. We didn't add on. Yeah. So that made a lot of news, and I became famous like that in the sport. Now, when you went to nationals, whenever you go to nationals, or whenever you called for an event like Sprite, national team or anything, you don't come back the same.
Yeah.
So when you went for nationals and I played more minutes than
that was still the U16 nationals?
Yes.
Or like the school competition?
School competition, before U16 nationals.
Yeah.
National team and everything. So when we came back from the nationals, I think that time, where were they? Were they in Mbarara or something? I think Mbarara. So when we came back, we were actually very different people because we had played against different teams, the likes of Nyakasho. We played against teams, all the best teams from around Kampala, the Chibulis, the Ruris of that time. Those were the strongest teams in the nationals. We played against them, they beat us badly. So we got that kind of experience. But because of my role and how I was playing, I think that Henrison was an assistant coach for the under 16 that time.
That's Coach Nick.
Yes.
Yeah.
He gave me an invitation to go and be part of a under 16 team.
Yeah. So
I went in the camp. By that time, we had a white coach called Coach Mo from the US, I think.
He was the coach at Chitovo?
No, he was the coach of the national team.
Ah.
So that year,
Coach Mo, yes.
I got 2 achievements actually. I was called by the Sprite team when they came to go and train with them because I was just free with them when they came. So they chose just out of nowhere. They didn't choose according to talent or something. They just chose me because I was like a long guy and I was free. Actually, when Sprite came, to take you back, when Sprite came to Chitovo, they gave me a basketball, the yellow and green basketball. I don't know whether you remember that.
Sprite colors.
They gave me 2 tops that were in Sprite colors as well. So me, that was the biggest achievement I've got.
That was big.
That time. You understand? It was big, getting a basketball. Then they gave me a carton of sodas.
And soda was like gold in high school.
In high school, just imagine that period in school where you're in Kau, or there's nothing like visiting you, and in a boarding school. Then you get a carton of sodas. Everyone in the school will be your friend. So me, that was a heartwarming kind of moment for me. So, and I never looked back from that time. I had to carry on basketball. So I actually never went back to football. Every time I was the first person to pick the ball from the sports room, take it to the court. Shoot before guys start. Whenever there is competition, I'm the first person on court. So from there, we started getting friends in basketball. You come and play like Form 1s. When we came back from nationals, I was actually a starter on the team.
The school team?
Yes. When the coach chose me to start ahead of Walube, I never stopped starting. I think that was the last time I didn't start a game. That was the first time I started a game, and that was the last time I wasn't a starter. So all the time I was first priority. And that time I remember I was putting on shirt number 14 at the school. So I was like, this is my number. Then I started forging stories about my number. It's my lucky number, what, those kind of things. But basically, that's how I got into basketball. Form 1. Yes. So when we came back from nationals, that's we had a term back. Now, when we came back, they bought me Jordans. They had bought me Jordans. Remember, I sent for school shoes, playing shoes. So they bought me Jordans.
The school bought you Jordans?
No, my mom.
Your
my
mom.
mom was in South Africa. So she sent my brother to get me shoes from downtown. They bought me Jordans. So my first pair of shoes was Jordans.
What Jordans?
I think I don't remember very well, but they were white Jordans, very heavy, but they were very nice. They had a golden Jordan on the side. Oh my God.
You're like a school celebrity.
No, but it was a moment. I'd never been there to play in a white sneaker, so it
Yeah.
felt cool. They wore me even white socks.
It was,
It was just different. The feeling was just different.
yeah.
So when we came back from nationals that year,
Mm.
that's our second term, we were the celebs of the school. So people used to have talks about who performed well, who was the best player here, who was there and there. So now, Coach Nick had told my coach that he would want me to go to a camp.
The U16
Yes,
camp,
yes,
national team.
national team camp. So my coach had told the rest of our players that when you see Henrison has just joined basketball, now he's being called to the national team. So everyone knew I was going to the national team.
Yeah.
And now from the West to go to the national team, it was very big because not very many come from Mbaziira side to come to the national team. So very few were selected.
So it was mostly Kampala students.
Kampala, yes, Kampala boys, and mostly guys that are playing around courts and things like that. So me, I came to camp. I was so scared. I didn't know what that was.
So it was during holidays you came for the camp
Yes,
in Kampala.
second
Yeah.
term holiday. In fact, after nationals, second term, we delayed to go to school because we had the national
Yeah,
team.
nationals.
That was at Mbaziira.
Bishop Cipriano.
Yes, that's where the camp was. So we went. We were so scared. They're giving us 20,000 allowance.
And that was a lot of money.
Yes, it was
Yeah.
a lot of money. So that's allowance. They give us good food. Actually, they used to give us good food. Chips, rice,
Yeah.
chicken. It comes on time.
Yeah.
The training under instructions. Coaches are very tough on you. The conditioning was tough. Me, that's how I started learning my basketball. Coach Mo, actually, is the one person that also made me love basketball because the first day we did the national team trial at that Mbaziira,
Yeah.
because they called us from different regions. He made us look very stupid. That guy could dribble 4 basketballs at the same time. So he dared one person to try. Of course, I put up my arm, but I didn't even know what that meant. So he could dribble 4 basketballs at the same time, 4 basketballs. So these things were so intriguing on my side. I was like, if I can dribble 4 basketballs, I think I'll be a star of our school, or I'll be the best guy or something like that. He gave us very basic drills that opened our eyes. So they gave us basketballs as well. National team gave us basketballs.
To each player?
Yes, they used to give us basketballs. Each player, they give you a ball, use it in the camp, then afterwards they give us even basketballs to go with after the camps, that you don't stop training. So it's until I started working on simple things, no more dribbles, trying to reflect on what they gave us in the national team. That year, I didn't have a passport, and I think that year the national team went to Egypt. Yes, the under-16 team went to Egypt. And me, I was dropped because I didn't have a passport. So it reached a point whereby they were asking who has a passport.
Yeah.
Understand? And me, I didn't even know what a passport was that time. Yeah, I was a village boy by the way. Yes, but I was so happy that I made it to the national team.
It was a very big achievement.
Yes, someone saw me and told me, "You're capable of playing, so come out of the best."
Yeah.
See, so I went and tried out. That was a big achievement for me for that year. And now when I went back to school, I was a big star. First of all, nationals, starting, and now national team under 16.
Yeah.
Me, I was like a star. I came with shoes, new jerseys, new everything. I've chosen a sport now. That time I had chosen a sport. And now, no looking back, I was like, this is a sport for me, and I'm not looking back.
Yeah.
Yeah, I started playing games for a school. I started being a star. In fact, by the end of Form 2, of my Form 1 that year, I was already an assistant captain because they had to get a leader from the O level and a leader from a captain from the A level. So from the O level, no one could play. I was the only person from the O level that was on the school team. Of course, with culture, you see, traditional schools have certain cultures.
Yeah.
You don't just get from nowhere and come and play on the team. You go through a process. But now, me, Form 1, I was a start on the team, and I was also the only one from the O level that represented.
Yeah.
Yes. So, and now, when you went to third term, we have what we used to call the last 10s. Last 10 days is usually a period where we play multiple sports.
And you're done with exams during that period?
Now, it's a lousing week.
Yeah.
So we play multiple sports. Now, I had to represent my stream. I used to be in a 1C. My stream used to be called 1C.
Yeah.
So we play inter-streams, and my team was just doing it, just winning. Now, that time, since I was a star, I was a center guard.
You're a guard?
Center guard.
So you're playing 2 positions?
I bring, because you see the way LeBron plays.
Yeah.
I bring the ball coast to coast.
I dunk the ball?
Yes, because now most of my teammates were timid. They have never played serious basketball. They're just improvising to be on the team. Form 1. Now, me, I was already feeling like a star. I've been to very many platforms and I feel like I've achieved, and I need to lead the team.
You've met the best
And I
coaches in the
lead,
country.
yes, and I was leading the teams.
Yeah.
Yes, I was leading my stream, I was leading my class. Because after inter streams, you play inter classes. But that year, I won my inter stream. So my team had to have the most players to represent the class. Now that's the entire senior one.
Yeah.
We beat 2C, which was the best team in the O level. You understand? We beat 2C. I'm telling you. So that year I won inter streams and inter classes,
Yeah.
for O level.
Yeah.
So I was achieving every other time. So me, basically, that kept motivating me to play basketball.
Yeah.
By Form 2, I never looked back.
So that is how you began
That's how I
your
started
basketball
my
journey.
basketball.
I mean, that has been a very, very interesting journey. Let's take a very, very brief break. We shall be back very shortly.